Not Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Ah, yes. Good morning, Americans. It's Wednesday.
Wow, where's the time go?
Yeah. Feels like Monday, but it isn't. Halfway through the week already. And that's nice. That's really nice. All right, we also have a brand new bingo sheet that we're going to have to get to work on pretty quickly, I would think, since we only have 3 days. And it starts in the upper left-hand corner. By the way, when you get bingo, you call 888-900-3393. You win $30 worth of merchandise from PatGrayShop.com and a dozen Kexi cookies from Kexi.com. Joe gets confused on stage.
I'm sure
gets us started. Yeah,
that's almost a free square.
Almost. Yeah, it happens every day. What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Obama's third term referenced. Jeffy says,
subscribe, don't freeload, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
You know the rules. I'll just give you the rules.
That's weird to hear him actually say these squares instead of you for him.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it just feels like Monday.
It does, right? But it's not. It's not. Then we have Biden.
All these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
You know the thing. Right? We do. We know the thing. You don't, but we do.
Is that a double square? If we play that, do we get the confused on stage square too?
Oh, you almost could. That's almost 2 in 1, but not quite.
Okay.
Then Keith says
that's comedy gold.
Jeffy again.
Sometimes you just got to slap it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Biden saying,
God save the Queen, man.
Who knows?
What?
Oh,
who knows?
Doofus.
To quote Jeffy, 12-year-old boy children. I like the 12-year-old boy children. After watching the movie we saw over the weekend,
yeah,
I don't know if I could ever say that again.
You just did.
It's probably true, isn't it? Yeah. German accent? That's when what?
Papers, please. You do that?
Oh yeah, papers, please. Yeah.
See papers, please. Okay, all right. Then we got this. This is good stuff from Andrew Cuomo.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great.
Wow, what a douchebag.
No kidding.
Lee Greenwood, about to wrap it up.
I mean, he is seriously about to wrap it up.
20 years later. 20 years yesterday, I think,
I heard
or the day
way
before.
too much.
Man.
This past holiday weekend was just
everywhere.
Way too much.
God bless the USA, man. The Biden administration sucks.
Mr. President, you've just got to try harder not to suck.
Mayor Pete mentioned. I'm pissed I didn't think of it. The Pacific Garbage Patch mentioned. Soviet national anthem, which goes a little something like this. It is stirring, isn't it?
Probably should stand.
Yeah. Probably should stand. The day we stand for this in the United States, that's our last day on this continent. Keith quotes.
Keith quotes Nana.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Jeffy?
Don't bog me down with facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And then we've got this wonderful
So this is
piece.
how liberty dies.
Mm-hmm.
With thunderous applause.
Okay. Keith spins the wheel.
It's right there.
Mm-hmm. I give the wrong phone number. Usually Glenn's. We are not a democracy. And where's the money? Where's the money?
Yeah, that's a Joe Biden clip that we will have
eventually.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that again, when you get your bingo, then you call us at 888-900-3393 to claim those fabulous prizes selected especially for you.
Oh, that's so nice.
They haven't been sitting in the back the whole time. No, we just waited to find out who won. And then we specifically tailored the prize to you.
Such a weird line from game show era,
isn't it? Selected
awesome.
Fabulous prizes selected especially for you. The washer and dryer was specifically for me.
Yes.
Really? Okay.
How I feel about that.
That food processor, we thought of you.
What are you trying to say there? Why? Why? Why did the food processor remind you of me?
I just did. It just did.
It's weird, right? That's weird. Coming up in hour 2 today, we've got Tim Ballard from OUR Rescue. There's a new movie out on his life. And specifically, his time with the CIA and then branching off into his own with OUR. And it's called The Sound of Freedom, and we all saw it over the weekend. Really, it's good.
It sticks with you.
I mean, it's powerful. It's powerful.
We all have talked to Tim many times, so very familiar with what he does. But to see it on the big screen is
been with Tim on some of his adventures, actually. Well, after, not during. Too much of a wiener to actually do it during. That is a tough gig.
No doubt about that.
He has maybe the toughest gig on the planet. That is hard.
Now that this is aired, he's done, right? Can't do it. There's no way he can do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if he can, because they do show him at the end.
Yeah, does he put on another blonde wig and say it's not me?
Jim Caviezel stars as Tim, but at the end, as they do a lot of stories based on real life, it shows him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how you do that. Maybe he's not doing it anymore. We'll have to ask him. So anyway, very powerful story about the sex trafficking industry. And of course, at the end, there's some statistics that are mind-boggling. I think we've said them before, but there are more slaves today than at any other time in human history, even during the time when slavery was legal, which is hard to believe.
It sure
Isn't
is.
It? Hard to believe.
It sure is.
It's heartbreaking.
Unbelievable. And millions of those are children. And so, the movie is, frankly, it's hard to watch.
Yep.
But it is important. It's a super important movie. All right. One legal setback after another over the holiday weekend for the Biden administration.
Yeah, baby.
That was fun.
It sure was.
It started on Thursday, actually.
Right.
And then continued through Friday, and they had one slap in the face after another. It's just tasty. Just so great. We'll get to the big Supreme Court cases that were released, but first, got to mention a ruling that came down yesterday from federal judge Terry Doughty.
How appropriate that he released this on Independence Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The judge blocked various federal government entities and figures from pressuring social media companies to censor protected free speech. How about that? Plaintiffs alleged the government wielded its authority to trample First Amendment free speech rights, and the judge agreed, granting a preliminary injunction. Interesting.
Will it matter?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
I don't know.
This is one of those great federal judges that Trump gave us that eliminated the, was it the vaccine requirement for kids going to Head Start? Maybe it was the masks. It was one of those two. This guy is at the forefront of these pro-liberty cases.
That's great.
And good. it's great, no question. But, will it, I just find this hard to believe that it will matter because these government agencies are embedded. And, it's very difficult to get them out. And also when you have, guys like Zuckerberg, who is he's part of the machine.
He doesn't need the people telling him what to do. He'll do it anyway.
Right. And he's starting his new Threads, I think, tomorrow. His new battle up against Twitter starts tomorrow. We'll see if that, holds any water or holds true. But I just, it's nice to see this. No question. It slaps them right in their hands or their face.
What's his Twitter version called?
Threads. Man,
you're going to be all over that one just like you are on Twitter?
Oh, man. Probably more so. Probably more on Threads than I am on Twitter.
Have you already looked it up and downloaded?
I have not yet, but I'm going to today for sure because, I want to be right on top of that from day one. Wait, I didn't get it on the ground floor of Twitter, but I'm going to on Threads.
Hold on. Threads didn't already open?
No, I think it starts tomorrow.
Boy, they should have had it open before.
They should have.
Twitter had a big meltdown this past weekend.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, well, they had issues with. He called it their other AI were scraping, was info scraping, right? So they were coming in and trying to take all this information from Twitter, which slowed everything down. So he limited the access to everyone on Twitter, how many tweets you could view. I mean, if you're,
it's not an easy job. Doesn't
no,
sound
it's
like.
not. And it's, if you were verified, you could view like I think 1,000 tweets or something like that.
That's
and
not
then it
enough.
would say,
That's not enough.
I know that
pisses me off.
Well, I'm sure you were.
I'm still
all
angry
weekend,
about it.
yes.
I was mad all weekend. I didn't know what was going on, but I was mad the whole weekend.
Yeah? Really put a damper on your...
really
you weren't verified.
Really
you could
did.
only watch like 500.
1,000. That's a
only
drop
500.
in the bucket for me.
I don't remember what the number was.
I don't either. I think it was 500 and then 300.
Yeah, but it went back up after he got it taken care of.
Don't tell me it was
so.
only 500.
For
Don't tell me.
people that aren't verified. Like
man.
yourself, actually.
Yeah, right.
No.
I'm verified.
No, you're not.
I'm not verified anymore.
No, not anymore. No.
That's right. I lost my blue check.
That's why you were so upset.
I got to pay that $8 a month to keep that blue
I'm close,
check.
actually.
'Cause it's that important to me.
I'm close, actually, to paying it now.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Really?
I am, because it's your access. The algorithm screws you with access if you don't have the blue check.
Yeah.
Your reach is nothing now if you don't have the blue check. And I feel like I need to pay for it. I feel like I'm backed into the corner. We'll see how Threads does.
Yeah, right. Yeah, wait till Threads comes out.
Yeah.
And then we'll see.
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, I've tried the Truth.
Yeah, you did
I've
try
tried the Truth. I never could actually get on Truth, to be honest.
Why?
When they first opened it up,
you were
there
in
was
the queue or
something
something?
wrong. Yeah, and then they gave me a name like Truth with 18,000 numbers and letters in it, and said "come back later," and then it never would accept it again.
Really?
So I just was like, well, if that's the way you're going to treat me on the first day, then the heck with you.
Yeah. Nah, it's
Go Truth somewhere else.
right.
I'll read about your truth on Twitter.
Exactly. Exactly. Huh. All right. Well, I'm sure that Donald Trump is making just a fortune from Truth Social.
Well, it's the best social media platform ever.
Yeah, ever.
Duh.
If the allegations made by the plaintiffs are true, according to the judge, back to this case, the present case arguably involves the most massive attack against free speech in United States history. In their attempts to suppress alleged disinformation, the federal government, and particularly the defendants named here, are alleged to have blatantly ignored the First Amendment rights to free speech. That's exactly right. He explained that the plaintiffs alleged that the defendants colluded with and or coerced social media platforms to suppress disfavored speakers, viewpoints, and content on social media platforms. Did they ever? The plaintiffs are likely to succeed on the merits in establishing that the government has used its power to silence the opposition. Opposition to COVID-19 vaccines. Opposition to COVID-19 masking and lockdowns. Opposition to the lab leak theory of COVID-19. Opposition to the validity of the 2020 election. Opposition to President Biden's policies, statements that Hunter Biden laptop story was true, which it obviously was.
100%.
And opposition to policies of the government officials in power. All were suppressed. Is that not brilliantly
This guy's
true?
good, man.
This guy's really good. All of that is so very true. It's quite telling, he continued, that each example of category or suppressed speech was conservative in nature. Isn't it telling? Yeah, it is kind of telling.
It is.
This targeted suppression of conservative ideas is a perfect example of viewpoint discrimination of political speech. During the COVID-19 pandemic, a period perhaps best characterized by widespread doubt and uncertainty, the United States government seems to have assumed a role similar to an Orwellian ministry of truth. Oh my God!
End quote.
Wow, we should frame that and hang it somewhere because that's brilliant.
He's good
and so true.
And it was.
Are you going to frame it in the trash
Judge
can?
Downey.
Yeah, I'm going to frame it right there.
Okay.
In the
I was just wondering what you.
garbage.
I just wondered. I didn't know.
I was just
I
more
didn't know that-
rhetorical,
Oh, okay,
the
sorry.
framing it, and
Never
more
mind that.
rhetorical in
Never mind.
nature. So,
And that's Judge Doughty. What is his first name?
Yeah.
Bob
Bob.
Dowdy.
Terry, isn't it?
Terry Doughty.
Yeah.
Is it Terry?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's not. It's
I
not
think it is Terry.
Where'd you get Terry? I don't think it is.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
The ruling came down from Terry Dowdy. You're right. You're right.
Thank you.
It is Terry
Put it back
Dowdy.
in the frame over there.
From Louisiana. He's always got some good rulings.
So good. And so very, very true. I mean, tell me that stuff didn't happen.
Absolutely. We lived it.
You can't. And what they'll say is, well, you're spreading disinformation and misinformation.
Yep.
No, who decides that? Who decides that? The government? The left?
Yeah.
Because all of that stuff turned out to be true and accurate. And even
if it didn't, so?
Right. Let the American people noodle that out. We're smart enough to do that. If people are saying things about the vaccine that isn't true, it'll come out.
Right.
So what?
Otherwise, it's almost like the United States government seems to have assumed a role similar to an Orwellian Ministry of Truth.
Wow,
right?
That's powerful.
You like that?
Thank you.
You guys like that one?
That was really good.
You appreciated that
put
one?
that in the same frame Pat did.
All right, cool. Just came up with that top of my head.
Yeah, really good. Sounded familiar, but that was really powerful.
No,
I think a lot of times things that ring true do sound familiar.
They do.
You know what I mean?
They do.
Yeah.
A lot of times they do.
Also, on Friday, the Supreme Court wrapped up Pride Month. So great. With a ruling in favor of individual rights and religious rights, frankly. This is a big win. To me, this is a religious rights situation. The court ruled 6-3 for designer Lori Smith, saying she can refuse to design websites for same-sex weddings, despite a Colorado law that bars discrimination based on sexual orientation, race, gender, and other characteristics. And, you're going to go and force somebody to do a website for your gay wedding when they don't want to?
Right.
A, why would you want them to if they don't want to? It doesn't make any sense. You're just obviously pushing your agenda. You're obviously trying to hurt them in some way because you're taking that stand. Find somebody else who doesn't have a problem designing gay wedding websites.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
And wasn't this a fake customer, right? This wasn't even
I read that this weekend.
Was it a fake customer?
They believed that it was a fake customer.
Yeah.
Customer
it was just a
setup. But the thing is that it still rings true.
But seriously, congratulations on your fake attempt here.
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah. Have we checked in on the Colorado cake baker guy who they continually went after?
Over and over.
Because they love precedent.
Yeah.
With Supreme Court cases or court cases.
Well, now here you go.
There you go. Yeah,
there's some really good precedent to base things on. Yeah. The decision suggests that artists, photographers, videographers, writers are among those who can refuse to offer what the court called expressive services if doing so would run contrary to their beliefs.
Huh.
But that's different from other businesses not engaged in speech and therefore not covered by the First Amendment, such as restaurants and hotels.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
So it's just like creative stuff.
So you're talking about bake shops that have to cave in here?
No, I think that would be.
I don't think so. That should be under creative, right?
Yeah.
But that's
expressive.
Okay, maybe.
That's saying that hotels can't discriminate.
Like if you're coming there to celebrate your gay wedding and it's your honeymoon or whatever, you can't say no. You can't. But I mean that makes sense because you shouldn't be able to, right? You shouldn't be able to deny. You think you should?
I do. I think,
really?
I think. I think this is what almost got Rand Paul not elected because he made the true libertarian case that a restaurant owner should be able to discriminate against whoever he wants to.
For any reason. Yeah.
And then let the market decide.
And those days are gone.
Just like the sign that used to say, no shirt, no shoes, no service. And there were signs that said, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone.
Anyone, yeah.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Do I think it's right? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But do I think you should be allowed to? Sure. Let the market figure it out.
Let the market decide.
Yeah. When word gets around,
disagree with that,
when word gets around town,
can't do it. No. Can't do it today, though.
Right. When word gets around town that you're not serving blacks in your restaurant
or
that place
gays
is going out of
at
gays,
your hotel.
Or your hotel, that place is going out of business. It's going to be subjected to protests. It's going to take care of itself. I think freedom of association, and it's something that is completely lost in our society now.
Yep, it's gone.
Yeah.
That is over for sure. You just can't now. And we all, I think, understand that.
I know.
That's gone. And not even an issue anymore. Also on Friday, the Supreme Court struck down President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, which I love. I mean, that just they make so much sense. It is fantastic having 6 right-thinking conservative judges on the court.
But see, I think it's actually not 6. I think Roberts now has cover.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
He was the deciding vote in all of these things that frustrated the hell out of us. And now that it's going to pass with or without his vote,
he goes ahead and
goes,
votes.
okay, now I'll do it.
Right.
But anyway, it's good to see these rulings. Man, the left lost
otherwise
their mind.
it'd be 5-4.
Right.
And then he's on the wrong side of all these things. And people are going to get pissed.
Boy, the left lost their mind this weekend on all these rulings.
Man.
It was
They want so desperately to be able to impeach these judges. And you can. I don't know. I think it's been done once. Has it been done once?
SCOTUS?
And I think it was early on, too.
Let me find out.
But it's difficult to do. And they're not going to be able to do it. But what they do want to do is pack the court now.
Right.
They desperately want to pack the court.
Samuel Chase, 1805.
Yeah, I thought it was early on. Yeah.
Wonder what did he do? I don't
That
remember.
guy was
this
a
too
bastard.
well. Tell me about it. what do you remember?
Man, if you...
I don't even want to talk about him. I was so mad at him.
If we've heard Jeffy talk about Samuel Chase
man.
once,
That
we've
guy.
heard it a million times. He really stuck in your craw.
He
didn't
did. He did.
I think you were frankly glad that he was
couldn't
impeached.
happen to a
Yeah.
nicer
So how did
guy,
this make you feel at the time when the House voted to impeach Chase?
Happy.
Yeah, because they
Happy.
accused him of refusing to dismiss biased jurors.
Yeah.
And excluding or limiting defense witnesses
Yeah.
in 2 politically
You're
sensitive
telling the
cases.
audience now.
Can
You're
you
not telling
imagine
me,
that?
right?
You impeached him for that? Jeez. We used to be hard asses. Dude.
No doubt.
Not
No
now.
doubt.
Not now.
You don't get those days back.
Wow.
No.
So lefties in Congress howling over this ruling, like Representative Ilhan Omar, who had this to say. You know,
Given that fact and what we saw yesterday with the Supreme Court striking down affirmative action, what does this mean for students of color moving forward? What does it mean for student bodies? What does it mean for the student experience?
Yeah.
I mean, what it means, if you take all of these cases together, if you think about all the grievances that have brought about the Trump election, what you're seeing is severe backlash in the sense that people do not want to see black and brown people excel in this country. And I think it's really something that is unfortunate that we have to pay attention to, and allowing the
Pause it for a second. I can't take it. They don't want to see black and brown people succeed in this country. No, of course we want to see it. We want to see it. We're not seeing it now.
Right.
Because they've been given things they don't deserve in some cases. Right? Because there's a quota system.
Correct.
So if they don't have enough, then they're letting you in whether you have the qualifications or not. This inspires people to get the qualifications. Because you're not going to get in just because of your skin color. Geez, can we please, for the love of heaven, remember the words of Martin Luther King? Why can't they understand that? They will not.
No, they won't.
They don't believe Martin Luther King's words at all.
It's like he didn't even exist.
Yeah, he's been eliminated.
This Ilhan Omar clip is as a one-off. Where you purposefully don't play it for Pat before the show.
Yeah,
it's a 2-minute long clip. I told you wouldn't make it to the end. We are
you did tell me
one
that.
quarter of the way through. We
Okay.
have 90 seconds left.
Oof.
Brace
I
yourselves.
know.
I'm
I don't
trying.
know.
He's not going to make it.
and allowing
Given that fact and what we saw yesterday with the Supreme Court
what's
striking
happening here
down
with the
affirmative
audio?
action,
The
what
audio's
does
messed
this
up.
mean for
Joe?
students of color moving
Can we
forward?
pause it
What is-
again?
What's happening
so we can
here?
maybe get her back on track?
Yeah, let's.
I don't know. That was
It's
weird.
almost better.
Yeah, I'll let you check that and get back to us. This might be a blessing. Actually.
Yeah, it
you know
might
what?
be.
While he
It might
figures
be. I
that
might
clip
lose my
out,
mind.
can we skip ahead though to clip 4 of Thomas Sowell years ago talking about affirmative action, because I think this will actually help after having seen Ilhan Omar. Let's do clip 4 here, Joe.
Do you believe that mandatory proportional representation benefits minorities.
No. In fact, I think one of the great handicaps that blacks and other minorities face across the country is that they are systematically mismatched with universities in the admissions process. That is, if Harvard feels that it must have X percent of blacks, and if the pool is such that they can't get X percent of blacks at the same level as the rest of the Harvard students, they're going to take those blacks who would have succeeded in some state university and bring them to Harvard, where many of them will fail. Or MIT is a better example, that the average black student at MIT is in the bottom 10% of MIT students in math. But he is in the top 90% of all American students in math, because MIT students are so phenomenal in mathematics.
There you go.
Something like 1/4 of all the black students going to MIT do not graduate. You're talking about a pool of people who score at the 90th percentile in math, whom you are artificially turning into failures by mismatching them with the school.
Wow. I love me some Thomas Sowell.
That is awesome.
He's great. Yeah. He's really awesome. And brilliant and right. You know, how do you argue with that? How do you argue with the statistics and the facts of this? You can't. At Harvard, do you know that they admit 58% of the blacks who apply? 58%. Wow. That's incredible.
That sure
it's
is.
something like 16 or 18% of whites and 14% of Asians. That's completely out of whack.
Yeah, and
completely.
And it was on behalf of Asian American students that the lawsuit happened in the first place.
Right.
Correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, because they think they have too many Asian students there because they're successful and they've got, high grade point average, and if you know Asian families, you know that they really apply themselves. There's no downtime for a lot of these kids. They're continually going to school. Like even on the weekends, they've got Asian school on the weekend. You're like, okay, are you going to be at practice on Saturday? No, I got Asian school. Asian? What is Asian school?
That is awesome.
What is that? You're so
what is Asian school anyway? But for real,
I don't know. I think it's like a school Asians go to for even more study.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I don't know.
They're not learning. They're not learning how to be an Asian.
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, they're not. No.
All right. I was just checking. I don't know.
But there is a difference. There's a difference in the way
absolutely.
the families comport themselves.
So
while we're out playing baseball, they're at school.
Right.
And you know what? At the end of your high school career, they would more likely deserve to go to Harvard than me.
Yes.
Because I don't care about academics, that's for sure.
Right.
Wow. I think we have Elon Omar, if you want to try to pick it up where we left off.
Yeah, let's do it.
She's so worth it.
Have to pay attention to, and allowing the courts to legitimize and license discrimination in this kind of way
Still not quite right,
really makes our
license
not the country that we want it to be, not the kind of future that we want to push forward. You think about 70% of student debt holders being, poor and working people. We know that disproportionately black women are going to be impacted by this. We know that the wealthy, the billionaires, and the millionaires have never actually been able to carry student debt. The burden is with the families that we all represent that are struggling to make ends meet. This now will mean that so many people who had this excitement about starting a family, this excitement about
she's a communist,
starting a small business, all of that now is eroded.
Yeah.
But I find solace in something that President Biden said yesterday about the fact that this decision is not going to be the end of it. We know that this promise was made to millions of Americans in the last election. The president followed through with that, and I hope that they will find other ways to carry through this promise and make sure that
Thank you, comrade. Appreciate
that are now disenfranchised will have the relief that they deserve.
We're all out of time. Thank you, comrade.
Wish we could.
I wish we had more time.
Just can't.
To hear more Marxism spill out of your stupid face, because, man, it was enjoyable, wasn't it?
Sure was.
All right, we got more to come. 888-900-3393. More Pecker Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. You know, the racism that comes out of these people's faces, it's outrageous. It is unbelievable. And yet,
it truly is.
They do it every single time something like this happens.
And we're supposed to think that it's not.
Yeah, right.
We're supposed to believe
we're supposed to think they're defending people of color.
Right.
The BIPOCs are BIPOC. The BIPOC people are being defended by the left. Not in a million years.
If I'm a BIPOC,
yes,
I say no, thank you.
Me too.
I got this.
Me too.
Good.
You know what? I'm sick of you pretending like I can't do anything for myself.
Right.
Stop it.
And the other tasty part of that over the weekend, Benny Johnson pointed out that the Obamas were rage tweeting about the affirmative action ruling while on a luxury yacht.
From their $500 million yacht.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ocean.
Well, I mean, you got to go on vacation.
Well, you do. Yeah, you do. And you have to go on vacation on a really luxurious yacht.
Now, they want it both ways. Michelle wants it both ways. She wants to say, hey, I got in on affirmative action, but I worked hard and dug in. And
well, which is it? No.
Right.
You either worked hard and you dug in and you got in on merit.
Or
you were allowed in because you're a certain color.
Right.
Which is it? And which would you rather do? Which would you rather say to everybody? Are you proud of the fact that affirmative action got you into a college?
Most definitely. I mean, look at this is going to come as a surprise to you, Pat.
Yeah.
But you know where you love her, Joy Reid.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, awesome, right?
Awesome.
She made it known that she got into Harvard because of affirmative
Wouldn't
action.
you be embarrassed to say that?
Right?
I didn't deserve it, but I got in there because of this wonderful special thing that I have because I'm black. And because I certainly couldn't have gotten there on my own merit. I'll tell you that right now. And neither can anybody else who looks like me. So this is a terrible ruling. That's what you're saying.
Here I am on network television. I wonder why I'm on network television.
Yeah, right.
Oh, because I worked hard.
Oh, that's right.
I worked hard.
That's right.
Not to the top.
It's really pathetic. It's outrageous. But here we are. This is where we are in America now. And these are the people who are supposedly all about the little guy, all about the minority. Really? Huh.
Doesn't seem that way.
All right. Let's get to chewing the fat.
All right.
With Jeffy in a moment here after the kids.
Can we revisit the vote? On the kids.
I think we're going to have to eventually, yes.
Just asking. Asking for a friend.
It's just too long. It's just
asking for a friend.
Really? There's a friend of yours who wanted to know?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
There's a hole in his story from the start. Friend?
Wait.
What?
Wait.
That was mean.
Yeah.
That was mean.
We know he doesn't have any friends, so. And, okay. We're getting near.
Are we?
And
it doesn't feel like we are.
It doesn't.
It feels like it just goes further out, like out of reach. Further and further.
And
further.
You want to drain every last second out of this, though, because it's so good. All
right. So, hey, a few reminders. 56 days until college football. 64 days until NFL kickoff. 142 days until Thanksgiving. 173 days till Christmas. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Just around the corner. Right around the corner.
56 days until college football.
I love that.
Man, I love that so much.
I love that.
Over the weekend, of course, BYU became an official member of the Big 12.
Oh, that's right.
As did Cincinnati, Central Florida, and Houston.
More undeserving.
Were you thinking about tweeting about that?
More undeserving teams.
The other three? Yes. Less deserving than BYU,
no
that's
question.
for sure. Yeah, everybody knows that. Everybody knows it.
I mean, that's a fact.
It is a fact.
Did you tweet anything this weekend?
I tweeted all kinds of things.
No.
I'm not sure what you specifically.
Well, there was a rumor that you were looking for a for a password or a login or something for Twitter.
Oh, yes, I was looking for that.
So then we were looking for your tweets galore.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
They poured in, but they were invisible. I wrote them in invisible ink.
I wrote them and I thought twice about it. It's good. They deleted them.
Right.
Because it was so terrible. Speaking of sports, though, after a weather delay, Joey Chestnut got his 16th victory in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Is this 16 straight or
no?
Oh, it's not.
No, this is like 8 or 9 in a row, something like that.
Wow, seems like longer than that.
Not close to his record though. Only 62.
Oh, that's
year.
pathetic.
The rain
what a
delay.
Pathetic effort.
I know they had a rain delay, that weather delay. It was actually a pathetic effort.
Yeah,
it really was.
You should be embarrassed.
Second place.
Shamed.
Second place was this Jeffrey Esper with only 49 hot dogs. So maybe Joey was like, I don't have to worry. I'm way ahead of this guy.
He knows he's going to laugh these people.
Yes, absolutely. And before the men's competition, Mickey Soto, of course, dominated the women's.
Is she about to barf there? What's going on?
Ninth career mustard belt with 39.5 hot dogs and buns.
It's interesting that the winners are not, really big people. They're not. You would think they'd be, I don't know, fatties, but no, they're not.
That's because, we are like, using myself as an example. Like I don't speed eat. I'm the Kenyan of eaters. The distance.
Yeah, you're
distance
a distance
runner.
guy. Yeah.
So,
I think we proved that during Pat and Stu one time. Did we not?
Many times, actually. Stupid network.
What was it we had you eat, though? That one time was like Peeps.
Oh, yeah, oh, God.
72
that was a lot.
Peeps
It was quite
during the
quite
show?
a few.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It's quite a few. Quite a few. Some would think I wouldn't eat Peeps after that. They would be wrong. The total... First place wins $10,000 though at the hot dog eating contest.
$10,000.
That's not bad.
Not
you
bad.
get the belt and the fame.
Yeah.
And the rest of them break it up for it's like $40,000 both for men and women. So it's $20,000 for the men, $20,000 for the women, and the winners get $10,000, and they split the rest for the second, third, and fourth place. So I mean, good for them. And more sports news: an Australian entrepreneur wants to remake the Olympics, but with drugs. Aaron D'Souza has announced the Enhanced Games, a drug test-free sporting event that aims to reward a new roided-up class of athletes. Like he claims he has an anonymous sprinter who claims to have beaten Usain Bolt's 100-meter record. D'Souza, the president and founder of Enhanced Games, as well as he's behind Peter Thiel's takedown of Gawker. He's been hyping up his plans. No word on location. He told The Guardian he has 2 famous athletes on board. No announcement of who they were. And he's got a bunch of investors from Silicon Valley. No specifics on that yet either. But he said the event will include 5 categories: track and field, swimming, weightlifting, gymnastics, and combat sports. It's a fighting battle for the soul of sports, like Enhanced Games. The event's website accuses traditional athletic competitions like the Olympics of being anti-science and shaming enhanced athletes.
So obviously it's for people who take steroids.
Well, or whatever other enhancing drugs
Human
they can.
growth hormone,
The Enhanced
whatever.
Games is organizing an alternative to the corrupt Olympic Games. We believe that science makes humanity and sports better and fairer. Sports without drug testing. There you go. Now, a big surprise, though, that
I bet Lance Armstrong's all about that.
the representatives of the Olympics aren't too happy. They're against it. I know
Yeah.
it comes as a
What a
surprise.
surprise.
I know. We're promoting unhealthy practices. So, I'm all for this, man. I'm looking forward to it. Let it happen.
Yeah.
Let's see it. It'll be awesome. A reminder to subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat. Yes, it's free, but please subscribe and use the platform of your choice. You start using friends, subscriberships, and I don't like it. Okay, you need to have your own platform and your own subscribership. It's free, but if nobody likes everything, everybody wants something free. Nobody likes a freeloader.
Right.
So
it's a good point.
subscribe for yourself, rate and review. Chewing the Fat with Jeff.
What should I
Fisher.
rate it? Like a
How much-
star and a half kind of thing? Is that about where I
If,
should be?
they allow you to,
One
it should
star?
be 20 stars, best podcast ever.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how difficult. Where'd you get the? What'd you
like
say?
this.
1.5?
1.5 stars. Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if
about
they
what
allow people to do that. Actually, All right. Before we get to the big story of the day, I want to ask you my favorite stories here on Chewing the Fat during the show. How much would you pay, Pat, for a minuscule handbag measuring just 657 by 222 by 700 microns, or less than 0.03 inches wide? How much would you pay?
Nothing.
Well, no, you have to pay it. You're going to buy, so it's up for auction. It's barely visible to the human eye.
I bet.
The fluorescent yellowish green bag is based on a popular Louis Vuitton design. No, that's not it.
That's not it?
That is not it.
Okay.
That is plastic, actually. That I went past that story because I want to get to the biggest story. So I went past that story. I want the Louis Vuitton, the microscopic handbag. It's from the Brooklyn-based group Mischief. It claims the bag is narrow enough to pass through the eye of a needle and is smaller than a grain of sea salt.
Jeez,
I know.
What would you put in that?
Like
protons,
yes.
neutrons.
Yes, you would.
Yes.
That's exactly what you. So it's sold.
I'm carrying around my protons in this little teeny bag right here. So
it's sold last week for $63,000.
Oh, come on!
Let me help
$63,000.
you out here, Jeffy, on the visuals because that image you sent in apparently was corrupted. This is ridiculous, dude. So
how'd that happen on a Jeffy
that's a
image?
Look at that. It's on this guy's fingertip.
Look at that. Wow.
Insanity. So
it's the same people.
So if
that
you zoom in, you get.
Look at
the
that.
Louis Vuitton bag.
That is insanity.
It's awesome.
Stupid.
Wow.
It's the same people that made the Satan shoes for Nike. The 666 with little Nas X and stuff. Yeah.
With like
people.
blood in it and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
Same people.
Weird.
Anyway,
how much did it sell for?
$63,000.
Okay.
Now,
$63,000.
I mean, we've gone
holy cow
almost the whole show without talking about the biggest story in the news. Cocaine at the White House.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hello. We found out that first of all, nobody went, oh, that looks like cocaine. Yep, it's coke. I mean, they shut down the White House.
Sure did.
Yeah.
I mean, they shut down the streets around the White House. They called in the
hazmat
hazmat team.
Yeah.
All right. Look fine.
Could it be anthrax? Man, maybe.
I guess. Okay. It's fine. And, of course, it's fun to think that it belongs to Hunter.
Smoking
it's fun to think that.
Drinking vodka exclusively.
Yes, it's fun to think that it is Hunter's. I don't know.
I tend to doubt it.
Me too. I mean, Hunter's not leaving his dope behind.
No.
Okay.
Well, that and he's never going to a library in his life. So
you're right.
They claim that they found it in one of there's the
public
working
access
library.
place.
Yeah,
it's on the tour of the White House.
And it's in one of the visiting rooms that you can study in or whatever. I mean, it is a quiet place to do a couple of rails. I'll give you that. And that's what you want. That's what you want if you're at the White House. You want to go down. If you believe that it's Hunter's. I can see it happening. Absolutely. You go down a couple of flights, look for a quiet place, do some rails.
There's no tour there at the time.
Get yourself squared up.
Can I just
head
say
back up?
that the outline is already written for Saturday Night Live. They have a week to make this.
Yes.
This is comedy gold waiting for them to just mine it right there on the surface.
You can also make the case that it is a way to have some kind of sympathy for Hunter if they say that it's his. I mean, we have cameras everywhere in the White House, right? I mean, how do you know that we have to know who it belongs to, or at least have a pretty good idea who it belongs to, right? Where it came from. We have to. All the people that go into that area, I mean,
right.
Hello, we know we can break that down pretty easy. You can make the case maybe that it's Hunter's, and then obviously he's using again, or you make the case that it's kind of a setup, and we found this cocaine hydrochloride, which is a medicinal coke. I mean,
really?
It's okay. Yeah, I mean they use it.
Medicinal
coke?
coke?
It's medicinal. They rub
what
it
kind of medicine is it? What ailment do you use it for?
Dentists use it sometimes. You have topical.
Jeffy's trying to explain how it's not what we all think it is.
That's
okay,
correct. That's right.
But Lance makes a good point in my headset. He's like, yeah, this is the guy who left his laptop behind.
No, I know.
Probably
I know. And you make the case, and then You do that. Okay, so you say, okay, maybe he did leave it and he's using it again, and how are we going to get around it? Or they find it and they send him back to rehab and make him more sympathetic and get him out of the picture, because they really need to get him out of the picture.
Must have been a bad testimony in front of the grand jury on Thursday. So now they're setting him up to send him out. Yeah. And did you see what was it? A picture or something was released showing him doing drugs, going to, what was it, 172 miles per hour?
Vegas, smoking a little crack.
172.
So plus, Hunter
with
is
a prostitute in Las
Hunter
Vegas.
is a crack and a meth smoker. He doesn't very rarely does coke like that.
My client doesn't even do cocaine, Your Honor. It's ridiculous.
He prefers crack and meth, to be honest. So yeah, they were showing him smoking. I mean, so what? They found drug paraphernalia in his rental cars in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who cares?
So I mean, right? And,
whatever.
We know that he's a drug user, or definitely has been a drug user in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not above belief that it could belong to him.
Well, he's never done anything wrong. So
smartest man I know. Smartest
man you know. And, never done anything wrong. I mean, guy's practically perfect.
He is.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
I will say that he's not Bo.
No,
so
he's not
he
Bo.
is not Bo.
That's right, because Bo died in Iraq.
That's correct.
As we all know.
That's correct.
After saving an entire battalion of men. Yeah.
Just outside the burn units.
Yeah.
So they all died.
So he breathed in all the burn unit chemicals.
Yes, he did.
So that the others wouldn't.
If you don't believe us, ask Joe.
Yeah, right.
He is the smartest man I know.
Yeah.
For the pure intellectual capacity.
Yeah. In terms of pure intellectual capacity.
So it's going to be fascinating to see how this administration handles that with everything else that's going on. It's going to be fascinating to see if we just blow it off. We'll see if what KJP has to say about it today.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fascinating to see.
The cocaine?
Hey, the coke at the White House. What are we doing?
First of all, will anybody ask her about it? I think they might.
I mean,
somebody
to,
might.
Right? I mean, it's a
you
huge
have to.
Have to.
If you've got any credibility at all, you got to ask.
I mean, they shut down the White House.
Right. I mean, and if Joe's asked about it, is that Hunter's cocaine that was found at the White House?
Come on, man.
Can you imagine how pissed he would be?
He's going to be really pissed.
Oh,
the first one, he'll go, come on, man.
Oh, man.
And then the second one, he's going to get really pissed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be awesome. Make it happen.
I know.
Make
Somebody
it
needs
so.
to.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 reporters have to team up on
that. Back to back. Get him. Because after the first one, it's going to be, come on, man.
Come on, man.
But no, Joe, we shut down the White House. Do we think that the drugs belong to Hunter? I mean, we've seen your son.
He was just there 2 days before they found the cocaine.
And went to your weekend getaway.
Right. Hello. All right. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Hope you had a great 4th weekend. Kind of stretched that out into a 4-day sort of situation, which was nice, wasn't it?
It was. I was surprised that the number of people that were actually working on Monday.
Really?
Yeah, I thought.
Like who?
We got to get a new gig. What are we doing?
Yeah. Like who was working?
I don't know. I just noticed that some people were working on Monday.
The neighborhood,
kind of silly.
The neighborhood across from mine that sets off fireworks every year in mass.
Mm-hmm.
They shot them off Friday night, Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
They skipped Sunday night. Everybody must have had to get up for work on Monday.
Yeah.
And then they picked it back up Monday night and Tuesday night. It was hysterical.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Why would you come back on Monday, be off on Tuesday, come back again on Wednesday? Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Got some tweets here. Hoggasm tweets. I'm old enough to remember when Twitter was for short comments. Now it's just TLDR.
Too long, didn't read.
Okay. TLDR. Yeah, makes sense. It's not limited anymore to 240 because it was 120, right?
No,
or 140, and then it was 280 or whatever.
If you pay for it, the way Jeffrey was talking about, you could have. How long can they be now?
You can write a book.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You can write a book.
It lost its specialness, then, didn't it?
Kind of did.
The Great Ape tweets, Thomas Sowell is a national treasure. Ain't that the truth? So much. Thomas Rock and Roll Sowell. Lone Wolf 2965 tweets, Joey Chestnut should consider himself lucky that Jeffy isn't interested in competitive eating. Yeah, and it's because you're not a speed eater. You've said many times you're the Kenyan of, you're a distance guy. And I think he's proven that over the years. From Bob Corona, if the moon is only a quarter mile away, this is from Friday's, Flat Earth show, if the moon is only a quarter mile away, Jeffy's size is now actually in question. That is true, because then...
That messes up everything.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if it's only a quarter mile, he could get stuck between the moon and New York City.
See, that might be the biggest piece of evidence there.
No, we know it's 250,000 miles away because that's how Jeffy gets stuck.
Right.
Because he's that
Is that
big.
right?
Because he's
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's how you're doing the math on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're that big. Yeah, there's no way you would fit between the moon and New York City if it's a quarter mile. There's no way you would fit.
No, I got it.
We know you're not that svelte. So it must be way out there.
It's got to be way out there.
I got that.
So, yeah. Just want to make sure you understood where we're coming from.
You do understand,
I'll
right?
tell you one thing that I really appreciate that there's no fat shaming on this show. I'll tell you that.
No, we don't stand for it on this program. We don't stand for it.
I know.
I will not abide it. I will not abide any fat shaming on this program.
Thank you.
All right. This is from Keith's phone.
Oh, yeah.
Did you send this in?
Yeah,
I don't have to hold this up, right?
No.
Okay, good.
So
you took a flight recently.
I had a conversation with a gentleman in my DMs a long time ago. I don't know, 6-8 months ago, and he was talking about how no one can prove that the Earth is curved, right? And I went up in a plane just a few days after this conversation began, this back and forth, and I took a picture, and I forgot that I had this picture on my phone.
Because what are you, 35,000, 40,000 feet up?
Sure, yeah. I'm cruising altitude. And so I forgot on Friday for our discussion. I wanted to bring this to the table, and then when it came time, I forgot. Joe, can you please put it up? The image that I took out the plane went, no, not that one. The picture that I took from the airplane, does he have the picture I took out the window? Is it on the list here? He does not. Okay, well, that's...
The file was corrupted.
That's...
So,
how are you getting the tail of another plane in
I'm
this
not
shot?
Getting
That's
the
the
tail.
wing,
That's
right?
the wing of.
Oh, okay, all right.
Window.
Looks like a tail. All right. So here's the shot. Can you get a close up of it, maybe?
Well, let me try to find it over here. Do we not?
So we're to believe.
You're to believe that you can start to see the curvature of the Earth there.
Yeah. Okay.
And they say at
You
about
can't,
30.
That's really not doing a good job because it's black and white. You can see that. So what my phone?
You can tell.
Can you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can tell.
Okay.
Hey,
I don't know what happened to this photo.
What are you, blind?
Gentlemen? But if we could find it, could we please get that sent in? Because it'd be a lot more effective.
Yeah.
So what my phone does is it makes it tries to help you take better pictures. And so it draws a line for you, a straight horizontal line.
My gosh.
And as you look out the window,
That's great.
You can see. We will get
That's
this
great.
picture, and we will show you guys shortly.
Because here's the line it drew across.
Yeah.
And then you see the curvature of the Earth, though. You can absolutely see the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah.
So,
it
and
is.
they think
Here we go.
at about 30,000 to 35,000 feet, you begin to see the curvature.
Okay.
Well, there it is, right there.
All right, zoom in all the way here.
Right
Let's
there.
Try this one more time here.
Okay.
Okay, so ignore this circle here. And that's for...
that picture is better.
That's for focusing it. Shut up. So can you see the... You can see
Thank
the
you,
line
Jeffy.
there.
You're welcome.
And then just below the line over here, you can
see the Earth.
The Earth
curving
off into the distance.
Yeah.
Keep coming.
I wonder what Flat Earth Dave would have to say about that.
There we go.
Interesting. That's great. That's great. That's why, gentlemen, I was at a 0.
Yeah.
I started at 0. I ended at 0.
Yeah, I watched quite
in my belief of this guy.
Bit more this weekend, did some more research. So I hit the high water mark of a 5 on Friday on a scale of 0 to 10, believing 10 is flat Earth. What was
you
it?
believe
10
it's
flat
flat
Earth.
Earth.
0 is it's just this, sphere like we're taught. So now I'm probably down to a 2.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta
there's
leave
still
room.
some doubt.
I gotta leave room for everything these days, Pat.
Okay.
Everything has
all right.
to have room.
You globalists, man.
What was the thing though? We're making the Earth do something funky.
Yeah.
Right? What is it?
Human society is shifting the tilt of the Earth. Humans pumped so much groundwater out of the Earth that the planet has begun to wobble detectably on its axis, according to a new study.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Apparently we're going to tip it over and make it capsize. On its own terms, the magnitude of the new wobble is slight, a matter of millimeters, which puts it in the same approximate speed category as Earth's slowly drifting continents. But the findings published earlier this month in Geophysical Research Letters show the extent to which human action in the form of dam construction, groundwater drilling, and the burning of fossil fuels are impacting the very position of the Earth. They also provide powerful corroboration for something scientists had long suspected but had remained unproven: the staggering depletion of the world's groundwater reserves over the past several decades. How long have I been talking about the groundwater reserves? If I've said it once, well, I just said it once.
Yeah.
So I've been talking about the groundwater reserves for about 35 seconds.
It's a thing in areas. You know, it's a thing in areas where some areas we moved into that, probably too many people are living in, although you can make the argument that's not true either. But I mean, we're shipping water. You look out in the desert, we've got Lake Mead going down to, losing a lot of groundwater out there, man. I'm about to shut that thing down.
That's why we're
starting to weeble. Or wobble, or one of those. Yeah.
One of those. Yeah. Where there's a little bit of a wobble. They were saying years ago that the Chinese built that dam.
Oh, yeah.
That was so big it caused the Earth to wobble all by itself.
Yeah.
That's how
big
the dam
single
was.
dam, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. But the Biden administration getting fried a little bit because they're considering this new thing to block the sun.
This is hysterical.
It's an aerosol spray that they're going to spray out into the atmosphere. What could go wrong?
What a stupid
Nothing.
group of Marxists.
An aerosol, which is what they told us for decades was killing this planet because it was causing holes in the ozone. Now they're going to spray it into the atmosphere.
Wait, I thought
to block
we needed
the sun's
sun
rays
for the solar panels.
No.
run our solar.
Yeah, but remember that lady in Britain last week told us that there's too much sun. Remember that?
Yeah.
That they don't work?
Yeah. Right. That's right. Jeez.
I mean, they've been doing stuff for at least, 15, 20 years or more, trying to change the weather. So, now the White House is... of course, they were embarrassed by this, so they quickly pulled it back. And they were like, no, not really. We're not totally not doing that. It was so stupid. Because they didn't think this thing was going to get noticed? I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows with these people?
Why? That's the thing about Marxists, is that they are so hell-bent on playing God with everything.
This is why I think it might not be Hunter with the Coke at the White House. Because they might just be sitting there, railing him up, going, we could aerosol and block the sun.
Yeah, send that out.
Dude, I got a great idea.
That's just Coke talk.
And then when they come down...
Who among us hasn't had an evening of Coke talk?
I have not had an evening of Coke talk.
Oh, no, seriously.
Who
among us has not had Coke talk?
Me.
And that's just...
As a future square. Who among us hasn't... Condense that, just too muck and fudge. Jeffy mentions Coke talk. So anyhow, and you think maybe they sent out the press release and we go, no, man, you weren't supposed to send that. I was kidding. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. All right. We're going to spray an aerosol into the atmosphere and block
save the
sun. Yeah.
To save the planet.
They were talking about, they've also discussed some sort of screen between us and the sun. You know how big that would have to be?
We won't build a wall.
No, but
we can't stop immigration.
The Earth.
We're going to build a screen around the Earth.
A giant space screen,
like a sunshade.
Yes, exactly.
We got blockout blinds for the Earth.
Man, it better be remote controlled. I'm not pulling that thing.
It's just ridiculous.
It sure is.
It's just ridiculous, man. That's it.
That's it.
I heard about it on the news.
All right. Student Loan Day was that Friday? Or was that Thursday? Yeah, Thursday was affirmative action, and Friday was the student loan and the religious decision. So Biden was asked about the student loan decision on Friday, and here's what he had to say.
Mr. President, why did you give millions of borrowers false hope? You've doubted your own authority here in the past.
I didn't give any false hope. The question was whether or not I would do even more than was requested. What I did, I thought was appropriate and was able to be done and would get done. I didn't give borrowers false hope, but the Republicans snatched away the hope that they were given, and it's real hope. Thank you.
Mr. President, will you cancel your
authority? Did you overstep your authority?
I think the court misinterpreted the Constitution.
Mr. President, will you say
Wait. Oh, there was more after that when he turned around.
Afghanistan stuff?
Yeah. Did he turn around and start talking Afghanistan? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, where he gave credit. He's like, the plan was to give it to the Taliban. Well, then why the hell would we go in there to begin with 20 years ago?
Read your own reports.
Oh, this guy.
He's agonizing.
I dislike this guy with all the intensity.
Not much there to like.
10 trillion.
After that?
10, and after that, 15 trillion. White hot burning suns. But I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I just dislike him very, very intensely.
Hating would be wrong.
Right? Hating would be wrong. Right. But you can dislike somebody with all the intensity of 15 trillion white hot burning suns. Right?
That's why we need a screen.
That's okay.
That's why we need a screen right there.
We just have one sun, and look how hot it is.
I know.
It's pretty intense. But that sun is only half a mile from us. Is that right?
Yeah. So close.
I think the sun's actually 37 miles, according to the old way of thinking from the Flat Earth Society. 37 miles away.
Yeah, but we learned Friday the Flat Earth Society is
the moon.
Just a ruse.
It's the moon is half a quarter mile.
Hell, I don't know. I just know that the government runs the Flat Earth Society. If you'll recall.
Oh,
I don't think Dave ever said the distance.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
No. Plus, he didn't know if the moon was an actual physical
it was actual real. Right,
thing.
right.
I'm looking at that thing right now. What is it, if not physical? What is it? It's all in our minds. We collectively.
I don't know how many times I've said that in my life. What is it?
What
is
not
it? Physical.
Right. Yeah. How many times?
It's just me. I don't know.
But before we lose track of Joe Biden blaming Republicans and the conservative court misinterpreting the Constitution, as he says. I mean, he was told by the leaders of his own party not to go down this road.
Nancy Pelosi! Nancy stinking Pelosi said it.
If you recall.
And if you don't recall, here's what she said. Cut 3.
People think that the President of the United States, is this more on the subject than you ever want to know? Will you let me know? People think that the President of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness.
No.
He does not.
Thank
he
you.
Can postpone,
Thank you.
He can delay.
Thank you.
But he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress.
Thank you. Right. Why? Because Congress controls the financial strings of this country. The finances come from the House of Representatives. Congress and the House control the financial strings of this country. Not the president, because it is unconstitutional. So how can he possibly think? How can he stand there and say, I thought it was appropriate? No, you didn't. You knew it wasn't, and you did it anyway. And even your Speaker of the House at the time was saying, he can't do that. He can't do that. So don't give me that. You misinterpreted the Constitution. Shut up. Plus, if you want to talk fairness, how is it fair that you forgive the debt of these people who got into it of their own free will? Nobody put a gun to their head and had them take out a loan to go to college. No one did that. Nobody. They couldn't have worked in their high school years to save the money. They couldn't have worked through their college years and paid for it as they went.
They were probably told from those predatory lenders that they didn't have to.
Yeah, probably. That's probably right. Yeah, you know what? Take out this debt now, and we'll just take it away from you later on in life. Don't worry about it.
We'll let all the people that are out there working.
Yeah, we'll let them pay for it with their tax-paying dollars. Yeah, they'll foot the bill for you. Just go to college and spend $50,000 a year. So you get into debt to the tune of about $200,000 by the time you're done. How'd that be? And you know what? You have to go to Harvard or Yale. Obviously, you can't go to a trade school. That would be embarrassing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go to a place like BYU where your out-of-state tuition be about $11,000. Don't do that. Your in-state tuition be about $2,500
how do they even
per
stay
semester.
alive?
I don't know, but somehow they manage. Somehow they manage. It is speaking of that, it is the best value in this country.
The University of Missouri, Columbia, is that what?
No, that's not the one. No, Brigham Young University in Provo.
That's what you're talking about.
That's what. The school that just became a member of the Big 12 officially on Saturday. Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile, because every day the parallel economy grows bigger and bigger. It's powered by everyday Americans, sick and tired of all the woke propaganda being jammed into every product they consume. Big mobile companies are no different. In fact, they're some of the worst offenders, really. For years, they've been dumping millions into leftist causes. We had to take it because you need a cell phone, right? And probably thought there was no alternative. But you know about the alternative now. It is Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. They offer dependable nationwide coverage on all three major networks, so you get the best possible service in your area without the woke politics. And they have 100% U.S.-based customer service. They make switching really easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or just call 878-PATRIOT. Either way, you get free activation when you use the offer code PAT. patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 878-PATRIOT.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Hey, coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to talk to Tim Ballard. There's a new movie out about his life, especially with Operation Rescue, O-U-R Rescue, and his time in the CIA. And so we're going to talk to him about the new movie called Sound of Freedom, which is really powerful. Really, really powerful. It's, I will tell you this, somewhat difficult to watch because of the subject matter.
You have to, though.
But it's so important that we know about it and do something about it. 888-900-3393. Sadly, Pride Month concluded on Friday.
I know. It was sad. I had to go the whole weekend without having any pride at all.
Yeah. What a way to end Pride Month, too, with that Colorado case.
Is that the perfect way to do it? I mean, it's not. It's, again, this has nothing to do with everyday the LGBTQ members. Nothing. This has to do with the radical leadership in these groups who are trying to jam their agenda down our throats.
And many of the alphabet holders know this.
Yeah, they do. And a lot of them are fighting against it just like we are. And I appreciate that so much because it's so much more effective when they fight against it than when because we're just homophobes. We're transphobes. We're phobophobes.
Cisgendered white men.
And I'd say the leaders on that front, we've talked about them many times, gays against groomers.
Gays against groomers. Love that group. Love that group. So anyway, as Pride Month was wrapping up on Friday, there was a video circulating of Rachel Jones. She's in the U.S. Army. Okay. And let's see how you feel after watching this video of Rachel.
Okay. Hi, I'm Major Rachel Jones, and what Pride means to me is celebrating that diversity is our strength as a nation and as an army.
Pause it for a second.
Pride?
Oh, no. No, it's not!
No?
Diversity is not the strength of our country!
Hold on.
Wait.
Unity is. Okay?
So
what they want are people going a million different ways in this country. That's their diversity. Is like, I'm pulling this direction. I'm going to pull in that direction. You guys pull that direction. And we'll see when the country can rip in half.
Well, it's working.
Or thirds. And it's working.
Sure is.
Let's stop doing that. Let's pull together. Can we do that? Let's get together and be unified in this country.
I thought that's what this administration ran on.
That's what they did run on.
So you're saying that if let me check this here, 2.5 million strong People's Liberation Army from China is marching toward you. You're saying that diversity from our side isn't going to stop them.
That's not what's going to stop them.
What's going to do it?
No, isn't that weird?
Oh,
that's weird.
Maybe diversity in caliber weapons used against them. Maybe we'll do that.
Oh, jeez.
If we can get them back from Ukraine. Anyway, go ahead.
Thank you. But Rachel Jones.
Hey, can we borrow back some of the stuff we gave you?
Bro, you got to lend that back.
All right, let's see if we can get through this.
It's very special to me as a LGBTQ individual, and it's a chance to show everyone what we have to offer in terms of the diverse skill sets that we bring and the diverse ways of thinking we bring into the team.
What skill set do you bring?
Work better.
Yeah, what does Major Jones
really?
do?
Seriously. Okay,
what does
you
Major
used
Jones
to be
do?
a guy, now you're a woman, okay, identifying as, I
What are the
assume.
physical standards for the Army now?
What do you bring that's special?
What
What
the-
skill
I'm
set do
asking
you
the-
have as a result of that? Tell me the skill set a trans person brings to the U.S. Army. What skill set?
Could be internet.
What?
Oh, yeah. Could be drone operator.
Yeah, drone operator, internet stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and that's different from somebody who isn't trans? Or how does that differ from a non-trans
How dare you.
person?
What are you?
How does that
What are
skill
you
set
doing?
differ? We couldn't get that from just a non-trans person.
You know something?
Right? What skill set
You're
do they
pissing me
bring
off
to the
right now.
table? Come on! Do we have to just sit here and swallow all of this? I'm tired of it. I can't. I just can't play the game. No! I'm not going to sit here and believe that you've got a special skill set because you're trans. And what is that? Stop it. Stop with this madness. Like we're magic because we're trans.
Right.
I have magical powers now. I can wave my hand and wonderful things happen. A rainbow of wonder happens every time.
Say it with me here. Diversity is our strength. Try it now. Say it now.
I can't.
Diversity
I'm not even going to pretend. I'm not going to. No. Unity would be our strength if we had any. All right, we got Tim Ballard. We'll talk to him about many things coming up next.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Vivek Ramaswamy is on Fox right now. They're showing some video of him playing tennis.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have. His form's not good. The serve was not. That's not good form.
He's just playing tennis on the campaign trail. It's all good. Wimbledon's on. You know, we got to talk a little tennis.
He is everywhere though right now. He's been all over the place.
Is he gaining more than 2%?
No. Well, I think he's more than 2. I think he's around 4 or 5.
Okay.
But that's not where he should be.
All right.
You know. Mike Pence is at 7.
Please.
I know.
That's no
right?
way. That's not that.
There's no way.
We got the latest poll numbers from Republicans right there from.
Yes, you do. We do.
Some firm.
Latest, it's from Echelon polling. Trump, 49%. Still leading the way.
Among Republican voters.
Okay. DeSantis, 16.
Oh.
Wow.
What was that again? What's that difference?
49 to 16. That's
Do we believe that?
Okay. So now.
So DeSantis is down 3 in this poll since May. And Trump is about the same. Ramaswamy is up to 10.
Oh, wow.
In this one.
He's making
10%. Yeah, he's up 2%. Pence is at 5. He's down 4% in this poll. Haley, Nikki Haley, 5%. Tim Scott, 4%. That's up 2.
I saw Nikki Haley over the weekend on some talk show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was she good?
Now,
what she said was great, but she needs a...
She didn't say it well.
makeup person.
Read the head-to-head matchup between Trump and DeSantis.
Oh, I'm not supposed to pay attention to that.
The head-to-head. Okay. The head-to-head. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's two-way. In a two-way, it is Trump 60, DeSantis 32. Wow. Ooh-wee. So still up by 28, and even in that. That's amazing.
It sure is.
So after Tim Scott, Chris Christie at 2.
Which is hard to believe.
Suarez and Bergamentum, both at 1%.
Bergam.
Come on now.
No
way.
Suarez is not at 1%.
Nobody even knows who he is.
Nobody knows.
That was before his, I don't know what a Uyghur is.
Right. He should be done.
Yeah.
Should be done.
Absolutely.
What was that?
Guess who's ready.
We have Tim. Okay.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Let's. Tim is, a friend of ours. He's you've known him for years. We've had him on the show multiple times. He's been on Glenn's show a million times. And there's a movie about his life called Sound of Freedom, which is coming out
yesterday.
Oh, came out yesterday already?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And we had a chance to see an advance copy, and it's an amazing movie. It really is. And here's a little preview of what you'll be watching.
How'd that make you feel? Giving a child his freedom.
Felt good.
You've been at this for 12 years.
My country, 'tis of thee.
Why are you doing it?
Because God's children are not for sale. It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
And yet somehow you have failed to bring me one real-world lead.
It's over, Tim. Close up and come back home.
So you quit your job and you go and rescue those kids.
So felt that to be real.
That's
Amazing.
Sound of Freedom. Really powerful movie. And joining us now is the person whose life that's based on. We lost him? Did we really? Okay.
I would just like to thank Jim Caviezel for playing me in the movie, because that is not me.
This might be one of the few movies where the actual people are better looking than the actors portraying.
Wow.
Yeah. I think Tim's a good-looking man. He's a damn handsome man.
He is a darn good-looking
he's a damn handsome man. And he might even be better looking than Jim Caviezel.
I don't know about that.
You don't know?
I don't know about that. It's possible. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Give it
we'll
to
ask
you.
him. We'll ask him if we can get him back on. All right. So anyway, the movie is out, and I highly
absolutely
recommend it. Highly recommend you see it. Really, really well done. Is it the feel-good movie of the year? Probably not. It's tough subject matter. It's about sex trafficking of children. But the outcome is really good.
Right.
Yeah, and they have a cool thing at the end where if you're so moved and you would like to purchase tickets for somebody that maybe can't afford an expensive movie ticket, they have a QR code that you can buy a ticket for someone that can then use that to go and
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we can reset this for, I don't know, tomorrow or Friday, since we're having difficulty today, and we're running out of time here anyway for the segment. So we'll just reset that with Tim. Before the break, we introduced you to U.S. Army's Rachel Jones.
Rachel Jones.
Now, Rachel claims that diversity is our strength.
Yes.
I'm so tired of hearing that from people. Stop with that. It's garbage. And we just, yep, that's right. Diversity is our strength. The more different we are, the better things is. Wait, what? What did I just say? The different it is, the better it are. No, what?
Wait, the difference. Hold on, let's diagram
What
that
I'm
one.
kind of saying is, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And we're expected to just lap it up. No, I'm not going to eat your slop. I'm not going to. And it is garbage. And you can't force feed us it anymore. We're sick and tired of it. But here's what they're doing to our armed forces.
Yeah, look at this. Somebody made this over the weekend. Look at that. There is Dick Levine there.
That's good.
The Admiral.
Yeah.
There's Rachel Jones
Levine,
up right now.
Rachel Jones.
Major.
And then you've got
what's his face?
Lloyd Austin wearing the masks and the everything.
Yeah,
down
that's
there.
great.
Now they
That's
put
great.
Millie in a dog mask. I don't know why. I don't think that's actually.
No, that was
didn't
another
really
guy.
happen.
Oh, that wasn't Millie?
No, I don't think so. I think that was the other guy. There's another guy with that mask.
Yeah, that
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
Millie's got more medals than that. Millie spits on those medals that that guy's got.
Okay.
Kidding me?
Does he?
So anyway,
spits on 'em.
there's your armed forces
That's
circa
good.
2023.
Yeah. See, that's why we're in such good shape right now.
Diversity.
Because
We've
It
given
is-
all our weapons to Ukraine, and over here we're doing this to our military, which I'm sure is great because they all come with these incredible skill sets. Apparently.
Just from the clouds.
Yeah, amazing skill sets from the clouds that you're endowed with special powers if you're trans or you're a member of the LGBTQ community.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I get you.
It's kinda cool. Makes you want to join.
You're magic.
Makes you want to
They're
join.
magic for some reason. It's really cool. So that's good, and that's what we have going on in our military. Plus, the Imam of Peace warned Europe this sort of thing was getting ready to happen over there.
Oh, okay. So
things are good. in
that's
France.
with the French situation there, where they pull over the kid, they set fire to the whole country there.
Well, the kid got shot, right, and killed by police, and so it's erupted over there, just like
It's terrible.
With what's his face,
George
Floyd.
So they pull the kid over, the Algerian, was 17?
Yes.
Immigrant.
Okay, yeah, immigrant there. And I guess he tries to pull away in his car, and the police shoot him dead. And now France is on fire. And yes, the Imam of Peace, years ago said this is where we're going to end up.
Muslim Brotherhood, who are friends with the IRGC and Hezbollah people, they cannot operate in Bahrain, in Oman. These are Muslim countries. Where do they operate? In London, in France, in Washington, D.C., in Australia, in Canada, Toronto. They operate here. They have bank accounts. They register charity. Right. So Macron, the president of France, recently said the Islamic world is in a crisis. In my opinion, we do have problems. We do have Boko Haram, we have Al-Qaeda, we have Taliban. We have problems, but the broader picture, Islam is very successful, it's growing very fast. And we're doing really well. Dubai is not in a crisis. Abu Dhabi, the UAE, Bahrain, Oman, Kuwait, there's no crisis there. The Muslim countries are doing good there. Only some places there's a problem. I say, no, you are in a crisis. You went to the Muslim countries and you imported the garbage that the Muslim countries wanted to put in prison.
Pause it for a second.
Isolate.
When did he say this? Do you know what year this was? Because he's talking about Macron, so it's got to be fairly recent.
Yeah, last recent.
When did Macron come into office? 2016, 14? I don't know. In there somewhere. And so he's warning him even then. Because in all of Europe, they've done this. What he called importing garbage into their countries, and it's just
to pay for their welfare state.
Right.
They need the cheap labor in order to pay for the social programs, and it comes with a cost. And what they're learning is it's social unrest that you can't control.
That's exactly what's happened in France. And
other places.
And other places. Sweden. Finland.
Boy, Sweden is learning out.
Ooh,
they're learning the hard way. Did we talk about it on this show where you've got Honduras advising Sweden now on how to handle the influx of crime that's out of control there? Honduras is advising Sweden how to deal with the influx of crime.
What a world.
Yep.
Look where we are. And you got this Imam who was predicting this stuff years ago, and nobody listened. Nobody cared what he was saying. I wonder if Macron cares now. Because now he's trying to be the leader in Europe.
He wants to be the leader.
He wants to be the power broker
yes.
of everything, and he can't because he's got such problems at home.
And he even said one of the things, one of the first things that he talked about when this happened was, he blamed the police, said it was terrible.
Yeah, right.
Terrible on the police.
Yes,
but hey, don't
But don't get out of control.
Don't get out of control. Though.
I mean, I understand you're pissed,
right?
And you should be.
Right.
And by golly, we're all outraged.
Right.
But, you don't have to get carried away. Well, of course they're going to.
Of course they are. Plus, I know you guys are getting all wound up and want me to stay a little bit longer, but I've got an Elton John concert I've got to go to.
Which he did.
So don't mind
me. Was that
me.
Saturday when he went to the Elton John concert?
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
They were really pissed that he was dancing.
Of course they are.
The video shows him dancing around at the Elton concert.
Of course they're pissed. And they should be.
Such a douche.
Wait, you took time out.
Right, you had time for that.
To go to an
Country's
Elton John concert? There's hundreds of thousands of people in the streets, and you're at a concert.
He did cancel some trip he was supposed to go on. I forget what it was.
He did. He's canceled it, and he had to come back early from another one. So,
but I mean, how are you going to turn down an Elton show?
No,
on the final tour, that's
can't.
impossible.
You can't do it. So, yeah, and I'm sure that's what he'll say. Look, it was his final tour. What do you want me to do? My last chance to see him.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Nugenix. Are you ready to boost your testosterone, get your old self back? Nugenix Total T is offering a complimentary bottle when you text 231-231. Enter the keyword unleashed. That's all you have to do. So easy. So if you're really ready to get back your shape, your muscle, your energy, because as men age, we lose free testosterone, the man hormone. We lose that fire. It's harder for us to feel alive, be as energetic, be as active. You want to sit on the couch and watch TV. And really...
I thought you were my wife for a second. I wasn't know what you're talking.
In that case, it'd be, Ray, you're going to watch it all day. It's more like that, But if you want more energy, if you want more power to fight the negative physical effects of aging, Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster with Testofen. This will turn the clock back for you. Text 231-231. Enter the keyword unleashed. Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. #1 doctor-recommended brand by primary care physicians based on an independent survey conducted by IQVIA in 2022. But again, text 231-231. Enter the keyword unleashed.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Over the weekend, Piers Morgan had a panel on to discuss reparations because, man, it's spreading.
It sure is.
Spreading across the globe. California kicked this back into gear with their thing. They want to give $5 million per black person or something. $5 million to a state that didn't have slavery. It was not legal in California to own slaves.
Still, though.
Still. I mean, there are some white people in California, and they need to pay, right? Author Douglas Murray, who wrote the book War on the West, had this to say about reparations.
Well, it's a kind of grievance competition. Your guest earlier
can we pause this for just a moment?
Wow, look at that. Look who made an appearance.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry, was
that Lee Greenwood?
That wasn't Lee Greenwood, because he's still in West Virginia, right?
Well, yeah, he's still singing.
Wait a minute. I'm feeling duped if I have a ticket to that concert. Just playing on loop or something.
What, 20 years is enough, and then you just leave and go on Piers Morgan?
Weird.
The mic drop, the show's over, that's it?
Wow.
Okay.
I thought he was committed, but I guess not.
I'm sorry, reparations.
I guess
not that proud to be an American.
All right.
Right.
Let's see this.
And there's more.
Well, it's a kind of grievance competition. Your guest earlier just tried to engage in it. I don't know what hurt she believes she's had from slavery. All of this was addressed 2 centuries ago. Everything has consequences. All history has consequences and ramifications. But, you know, if we were to play this fairly, we would at least look at all of the countries around the world that engaged in the slave trade who are simply not interested in any form of reparations. The Ottoman Empire, all the Arab countries who not just traded far more slaves than across the Atlantic, but castrated all the men so that there wouldn't be any more African slaves after them. They worked them to the bone. I see no interest across Africa in paying reparations for selling their brother and sister Africans into slavery or for working them to the bone to the present day. There is slavery across Africa today. In fact, there are more slaves in the world today than there were at the height of the transatlantic slave trade. So some of us are simply a bit bored of hearing people ripping at closed wounds and then crying about their hurt or their presumed hurt, because everybody could do this. 1 million Europeans were stolen by North Africans over the course of decades of the North African Barbary pirate slave trade. Where would you end if you did that? The answer is you couldn't end, because nobody is alive who has actually suffered the hurt, and nobody is alive who did the wrong. And I'd make one other point, if I may. It's always the countries that people want to come to who are put through this struggle session. Britain, like America and France, are the most desired destinations for migrants worldwide and have been for centuries. Why is that? It's not because we're racist, it's because we're better. It's because we're good. It's because when we see racism, we actually call it out and recognize it as a sin. Try finding that across Africa. Try finding that across the Middle East or in China. Nobody would hear. So what we have is a situation where the more virtuous countries are presented as the worst countries. It's sick, and most of us are tired of it.
Oh my gosh. Drop.
Amen.
Is that not easily one of the top 10 clips we've ever had on the show?
Yes. That's really good.
So good start to finish.
It starts off, you have Lee Greenwood. In the clip.
Right, it's like a cameo.
Hello.
Very
Just
good
his
stuff.
presence.
Thank you.
Legitimizes what the Brit
gravitas.
say.
Gives the clip
prouder
gravitas.
to be an American.
Man, that was nicely said.
So
and
good.
he covered pretty much all the bases.
Yes, he did.
It's really
I want to
good.
read his book now, War on the West. I know nothing about it other than that clip there was awesome, and now I want to see his writing.
And, you know, there's just something so satisfying about somebody from another country saying these things, realizing these things about America. Just feels good, doesn't it?
France in there too.
We get so pummeled on a daily basis in this country from people making us feel like crap.
Yes.
Making us feel like we're the bad guy on the block when, you know, America is a force for good overall. I'm not sure if that applies during the Biden administration.
Caveat.
But overall, in our history, in the 246 years that we've existed, America has been a force for good.
Yeah.
Remove it from the planet and see where you are afterwards.
Yeah. Tell that to Ben & Jerry's and other woke companies like them. Why don't you?
Right. Man, it'd be a much different place. Yesterday, Ben & Jerry's, the socialist ice cream company based in Vermont, tweeted this out. They're always good for a laugh. The 4th of July. It's high time we recognize that the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land and commit to returning it. Learn more and take action now. How about you first, Ben, Jerry? You first. Give up your mansions and all of your property in Vermont.
Yeah, I looked up their headquarters there in northern Vermont, and it looks...
What tribe should that go to?
The Missisquoi Abenaki tribe.
The Missisquoi Abenakis.
So why don't you hand it over?
And your entire empire.
Yeah, set the example for us, Ben and Jerry's. And,
and when you've done that...
you first.
The rest of us will consider it.
Yep.
All right, we'll see how it goes for you. When you give it up to the Missisquoi.
These dingleberries have been this way forever anyway. I mean,
they have.
Forever. Their ice cream's not that great anyway.
It's not that big a deal.
I mean,
never buy it anymore.
That's the best point right there. It's not even
but
that
it's
good.
not that great.
I know.
There's far better. Bluebell is better, for instance. Bluebell from Texas.
When there's not, listeria or what have you. Swimming about.
I mean,
it's extra protein.
most of the time, your body,
to quote Jeffy,
your body
right?
probably fights back anyway.
It does most of the time.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you're fine.
Yeah, we got listeria and almost everything.
So
but usually we fight.
So
it
can
off.
we say to quote Jeffy? Shut your whining.
Shut your whining.
I just need Pat to say to quote Jeffy.
Oh,
to quote Jeffy.
Thank you. Okay, you're fine. Right there we go.
Thank you.
Hey, did you say that? Can we see the roller coaster that hung upside down in Wisconsin over the weekend?
No, we can't see that.
That is scary stuff right there. Can you imagine being on that thing for 4 hours?
No, 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see this story. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is there a number of people can call about this story or what, Ivan?
That's right.
Do we have the video of that as well? Yeah, because
oh my gosh,
they zoom in and you can see the people just. I can't imagine.
They hung upside down for 4 hours.
4 hours in Wisconsin.
No, I'm sorry. That's unacceptable.
Would you rather have them
Look at
fall?
This guy climbing up there to save the day.
Oh my gosh.
Now, yeah.
At some point, though, holy cow.
Doesn't that run to your head?
Sure does.
Yes.
And it's not good for you.
No, it is not good for you. No,
I can't imagine that would be.
I can smell a lawsuit coming.
Yeah. And
so where did this happen? At the Wisconsin?
Now, in North Carolina, remember?
Dairy Fair?
Gosh.
In North Carolina, they noticed a big crack in...
I saw that.
Yeah, you saw that
Yeah.
in that roller coaster.
Yeah.
And so they had to shut that ride
down.
Yeah, but look at that. I mean, just no thank you.
No thank you, please.
4 hours.
I
Sometimes
can't
it makes
believe
you.
that.
Sometimes it makes you happy there wouldn't be any fat guy seating.
Right?
You're down on the ground eating your Ben and Jerry's.
I mean, they must really be seat belted in because
Oh yeah, absolutely.
they're not
right?
falling out of that. You know, you're not hanging upside down for 4 hours just with that bar.
Right.
That's not going to work, right? You're holding on for dear life for 4 hours if that's the case. All right, we will see you again on Overtime and again back here tomorrow for Pat Gray Unleashed.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.